we're going to start here with students that were sheltered in place. So if anyone has experienced gun violence, it may be triggering to you, and this particular video may be the type that does that. So warnings there.
Hands. Everybody get your hands. Hands. Just keep your hands up for us. Obviously there's something going on. We're here to help you. Just listen to what we have to say, okay? All right, breathe. Anybody hurt? No? All right, just listen to our commands. We will get you out of here safely. Is this it? Is this the group?
Guys, if you have your bags, your phones, go grab it now. Quickly.
Go, quick, go.
In orderly, fast. Let's go.
Let's go.
Good job.
Grab your stuff. Hurry up.
I believe at this point we've got 2 people that have been killed from this, and also 9 or 10 others that are injured. So this is a regular, everyday event here in the United States of America, and every president has had a chance to talk about how they feel about it, and we hear the standard thoughts and prayers that always come. So it's good we've got Donald Trump here to talk about it. You know, the current president of the United States, he won't be giving any thoughts and prayers, to the glee of many of us libs that are tired of hearing those empty words.
And Brown University, great school, great, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So to the 9 injured, get well fast. And to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad you paid attention to this matter, whatever the hell he's going to say next. But the main thing there was things happen. Hey, the 9 of you that were shot and are traumatized, get well fast, because getting well from one of these types of things is just, getting over the bullet that was maybe in your arm or lodged in, your side. But I want to just completely unrelated, but related to the mindset of this president. I wasn't going to cover anything about the Rob Reiner and his wife, I believe Michelle Reiner's murder that just happened, I believe, yesterday, Sunday morning. But Donald Trump did. And I want to relate this to his cold, non-empathetic approach to these things, like these children being shot at again. I'm calling them children. They're adults. They're in college. Young adults being shot at, some being murdered in their college yet again. And share the way that he talked about Rob Reiner. He said a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. By the way, that whole thing was one sentence. He was known to have driven people crazy with his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Now, there's a lot of people who will follow this guy. I'm talking about politicians, people in power. I know there's a lot of pieces of shit in the country that are celebrating that type of stuff too. If someone dies that you don't like because of political purposes, which is the main reasons why Donald Trump is talking about him in this way, folks who don't have any power or influence will say all that stuff because they want some kind of attention. The guy who has all the attention he can handle, especially with all the bad things and horrific approaches he's had in this presidency, he wants more attention, but he wants the negative kind because he celebrates other people's deaths. So let's not hear anything more about how the president or this party, this MAGA party, has plans of doing anything about the murders of people in this country, the mass shootings of people in this country, the political violence that goes towards other people in this country. Let's not have any more discussions about it and just accept and understand who it is that he is. Because if he actually had any kind of thoughts for the 9 people that were hurt, that he says, get well soon, and the families of the 2 people who died, he would actually understand what it is people go through and how it sticks with them. And let me give an example here.
So around 4:15, my friend called me. I'm in my dorm, and she asked if I was in Barrison Holly, which is the building where the shooting occurred. And I told her no. And I'm actually from Parkland, and I survived the shooting there. And so I was like, that's where my brain immediately went. And I was like, tell me if it's a shooting. And he confirmed for me. I think mentally, I feel like I'm 12 again. This just feels exactly like how I felt in 2018. But honestly, I'm really angry. I'm really angry that this is happening to me all over again. And I'm just in shock. I actually turned 20 yesterday, so it's been 8 years since I was experiencing everything. And I think that my experience is so important because it shows that no one is safe from this. Until our Congress people actually decide to do something and care about children, care about their constituents, care about people in this country, this will continue to happen. And there will be more people like me who have survived several school shootings. This administration was the same one that was in power when the shooting in Parkland happened. And they said the same exact thing. They sent their thoughts and prayers and told us that they were thinking of us. Clearly they weren't. If they actually cared about us and they were actually praying for us and they actually wanted us to do well, they would do something to end the gun violence problem in this country. And I think a lot of my fellow students can agree with that we're fed up with the current administration and Congress's inaction.
The reason many old politicians, left or right and somewhere in the middle, any ones that do actually have issues with younger folks, younger voting age folks that they still consider, children that don't have any influence or have no voices or don't understand how anything works, is they ignore people like Zoe Weissman, I believe was her last name, there. She's been fed up. She's been through 2 of these personally. So Brown University being her second and also the first one at Parkland. She pointed out 12 or 11 or 12 years old, she said she was. But the response we got from the president of the United States was, get well soon. And the rest of you guys, who gives a That's his approach. He's considering himself, which leads to the response from the FBI director. Because immediately after, they're looking for this guy, right? It's very natural. It's very normal. But this is what Kash Patel posted right afterwards. The same Kash Patches Patel who was exposed for wanting to get ahead of any kind of violence or any kind of apprehension of a big named suspect and putting his face and name on it first. Also his FBI jacket with the patches on it. So he posted this. An update on the FBI response at Brown University. FBI Boston established a command post to intake, develop, and analyze leads and run them to the ground. We activated the FBI's cellular analysis survey team to provide critical geolocation capabilities. As a result, early this morning, FBI's Boston's Safe Streets Task Force, with assistance from the U.S. Marshals, Coventry, detained a person of interest in a hotel room in Coventry, Rhode Island, based off a lead by the Providence, Rhode Island PD. These are lots of details, Cash. We have developed local and national resources to process and reconstruct the shooting scene, providing HQ and lab elements on scene. We set up a digital media intake portal to ingest images and video from the public related to this incident. And the FBI's victim specialists are fully integrating with our partners to provide resources to victims and survivors of this horrific violence. This FBI will continue an all-out 24/7 campaign until justice is fully served. Thanks to the men and women of the FBI and our partners for their continued teamwork. Then please continue praying for the victims and their families, as well as those at Brown University. Even the flippant thoughts and prayers didn't come until the end when Kash Patel got through talking about all of the things they've done. The cut of our chin is really, truly American. We had a couple of eagles flying in over the top of us, screeching and all that. And then after all that was said and done, that post, I believe from Sunday, is still up right now. I'm going to tell you why it's crazy that it's still up right now about how they apprehended the suspect.
But now 2 steps back after the person of interest who was detained by authorities has now been released. The mayor of this community, Mayor Brett Smiley, telling people this community is still safe. But when we pressed him asking, is there any indication that the person who committed this violent act at Brown University is still here or if they've gone, he says that they frankly have no way of knowing. So he sympathizes with people who might be going to bed with a little more anxiety. They renewed this call asking for people to send in their videos, photos from their homes, businesses, anywhere in the area around Brown University that might show the face of the person that they released that 10-second clip of video leaving down Hope Street, turning onto Waterman Street. The Attorney General saying, frankly, we don't have a picture of this guy's face yet. If we did, we would share it.
So Kash Patel was wrong. I mean, he was wrong about announcing it. Many police investigations arrest someone or the person of interest or detain them or question them. That's not really the problem. And many times, sometimes, I don't know the, the success factor, but sometimes they let them go because they look into it and discover that that's the wrong person. I think maybe he was trying to get out ahead of that and then instead decided to announce all these seemingly conclusive pieces of evidence that he's got because he needed to look better. Because lately, the FBI finally, to some MAGA folks, has been looking pretty much like the FBI that we imagined it would look like under Cash Patel, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It's how incompetence works. Last little bit from this, because this is the Providence chief of police. I feel like he's wondering, if anybody's wondering, yo, this was not us. We got the tips and we handed it over.
It was a tip that came in, just like we would take any other tips, and that one came in specifically identifying a person of interest, which was this individual. And so our detectives got on it, just like they got on others, but this specific one, it was actually picked up by the FBI, and they followed through with it, and they ended up coming and locating this individual of interest, and at that point, we did a thorough investigation, examined, ended up drafting some search warrants, came up with some evidence, but that evidence was examined, and we didn't have enough, obviously, to be able to prosecute anybody, and so the person was released.